and welcome back to Identity Insights by Indicio. Today is the second day of Identity Week and also the final day. And once again, we are joined by our VP of Business Development, James Schulte, and he's here to tell us a little bit about the conference. Thanks for joining us again, James. How are you doing today?
Hey Tim, I'm doing great. I just got done with a conference and I'm here at Reagan Airport, just hanging out, waiting for my flight. It was a great second day. It was long, but it was really, really good. So yeah, happy to join. Happy to chat about what went on.
All right, awesome. Well, yeah, let's start with kind of what you were up to today. Were you, again, staffing the booth? What were kind of some of the highlights?
Yeah, so staffing the booth, fielding interested individuals coming up to the booth, asking questions about what they're doing. What I like about this conference is, had a chance to meet with individuals who've been in the, identity industry and related industry for, even 40, 50 plus years. I met one individual who he's been working in the secure documents industry for something like 50 years, since 1970, back when they first got the holographic paper onto banknotes and bills. And I met someone today who in the 90s, he was the person who essentially lobbied the US government to get chip capability into passports and into other secure documents. So it was really cool meeting individuals who've seen this major transformation over the last couple of decades, and now getting into the digital credential space, seeing them view this as really the next step in secure documentation.
All right. No, that sounds super interesting. So what does someone who's been right in the industry for 50 years want to know about verifiable credentials?
Yeah, well, first they wanted to know, where is this being used? What type of companies and organizations are interested in using it? How does it all work? They were really interested in the what we call the trust triangle, the issuer, holder, verifier model. They were really curious about how is a credential held in a mobile device, and it was really cool because they said they obviously see a lot of parallels between what they were originally doing with secure documentation and how verifiable credentials are essentially turning a lot of those concepts into something that's now digital and that can extend into the digital space. One of the big things that they said that stuck with me is with secure documentation with papers, you're stuck to the physical realm, physically handing off a document to be checked or they'll be verified. With digital credentials, that goes far beyond that now into the digital realm, making it possible to do all that physical documents could, but now eliminating time and distance as a factor. So being on your couch and being able to present a secure document from 8,000 miles away and then receive verification and proof of verification within 2 seconds. Whereas back in the day, you're relying on post, you're relying on email, you're relying on fax, whatever systems.
Yeah. No, that sounds really fascinating. I'm curious, were these right? It sounds like you met a couple people that have been in the industry for a while. Were they both on more the government side? Were they in an enterprise? What was kind of their background, if you caught that information?
Yeah, so kind of a bit of both. Starting on the government side, and it sounded like they had gone into the private sector afterwards, and having an understanding of how those relationships work. But yeah, so agencies that mostly focus on government contracts to introduce the latest and greatest technologies that governments are looking to implement to solve problems as they get more and more complex. But that's kind of what I gathered from their backgrounds.
All right, sounds good. So were you able to get away from the booth today and see any other interesting sessions or anything else happening around the conference?
I did. So I got to a couple of the keynote speaker addresses here around the venue. They had a couple different theaters where they were doing simultaneous presentations or panels. So I was able to go to one hosted by Annette Steinberg and with a gentleman from Air Canada as well as the Canadian Border Services, where they did a presentation on the digital travel credential and progress and update and landscape update that they're seeing. So that was really cool. It was cool to see that presentation and have a DTC on my phone at the same time. So had some good conversations following that. I was able to make it around to some of the booths, talk to some of the hardware vendors, and learn about um, the new capabilities of the machinery that they're producing. Um, yeah, let's see. One conversation I had was about smart cards and smart card capability, the ability to uh, store information and perform computations all within a card. It's the size of a credit card. Those are getting pretty advanced and increasing the amount of storage and the amount of functionality. So, finding the bridge point between verifiable credentials and physical cards, I think, opens up a lot of interesting opportunities.
No, that sounds very interesting. So I know you were also doing demonstrations at the booth today. How did the demonstrations go?
Yeah, they went really well. At conference venues and exhibitions, you're always relying on either a mobile hotspot or the venue's Wi-Fi. So it's always a little risky to do a live demo, but it went flawlessly both days, which was really exciting. Other than my laptop running out of battery, but that was within the last hour. But other than that, went really smoothly. I think people were able to, really understand what capability the technology brings. Specifically, I did a demonstration of a traveler being able to sign into a demo airline website, receive an account credential, use that credential to log in without a password, without a password, and then be able to book a flight with that credential, receive their boarding pass as a credential to be held in in a traveler's wallet or an airline an app, and then use that credential to present at a boarding gate to board a plane, and then also to access a lounge. So when people see that demonstration, they really see, oh, okay, this is what this is what credentials are capable of. One thing that really stuck out to some of the audience that came by was the ability for passwordless login. Um, uh, you know, 2 days ago when I was getting ready to fly here to the conference, having to log into my United app, and I had forgotten my password, so I had to reset that. And forgotten my was it 7 or 8 digit um, loyalty account number. So I had to go looking for that as well. So the ability to do that all from a credential that pre-populates it with verified data, um, having that secure connection using decentralized identifiers between my wallet and an airline's servers. There's a lot of opportunity that comes with that to improve the customer experience. So I think when people see the speed and convenience that credentials bring, I think that's when it really clicks for them.
All right. No, I didn't even realize that the demonstration encompasses all of that. That sounds like pretty much the entire experience of going through the airport, even the lounge. It's kind of funny to me. Awesome. Well, I know you've had a full day, James, and we'll let you get going here in just a minute. Appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today. If you at home are interested in learning more about verifiable credential technology, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. We'll continue to bring you more updates on industry events and educational content whenever we can. And if you have any specific questions that you'd like for us to cover, please go ahead and leave a comment below. We'll be sure to read and address them. Thanks again to you, James. I'm going to leave you with basically the same question as yesterday. Is after you've experienced the whole conference, what would be some of the advice or some of the key takeaways from the conference that you would offer to someone who's maybe thinking about going next year?
Number one is bring a pair of comfortable shoes. My feet are sore from standing and walking, but it was great. Lots of people to see, lots of opportunities to find potential partners, potential vendor relationships. Yeah, download the app, check out the conference agenda, and plan out your day because there's so much going on that you could spend all day going to everything and not cover it all. So if you have a team, split up and go to as many of them as you possibly can.